I get my Uber driver arrested? I should have known something was wrong the second I hopped into the Uber after leaving a party at a bar downtown. James? I asked the man driving. He nodded and flashed me a warm smile. Hop in, he said. I didn't think twice or even check my app to see if I was getting in the right car. Like an idiot, I took his word for it and climbed into the back seat, settling against the leather seats. The doors locked and he pulled away from the curb, getting on the freeway immediately. That was my first clue that something wasn't right. We didn't have to drive on the freeway to get home. I pulled up my Uber app and realized that my Uber was still 5 minutes away from picking me up at the bar. I froze and pulled up the picture of the driver. They looked completely different. My breathing changed to something heavy as I realized I was in the wrong car, going somewhere to die probably. My fingers started shaking and my knee wouldn't stop bouncing. We pulled off the freeway onto a dark, empty road. I grabbed my phone and tried calling 911. No service. I tried texting my roommate and best friend, Leah, but the text said unable to deliver. I was screwed. I tried the door handle, but the door wouldn't budge while he was driving. He was watching me through the rearview mirror. Are you feeling okay? He asked, voice gentle and kind. I'm fine, I muttered. My stomach rolled and I had to swallow down some bile so I wouldn't throw up in his car. Actually, I feel sick, I said calmly. Do you mind pulling over for a moment? I wasn't sure I could run away from him since I was wearing heels and a tight dress, but I was going to try. I slipped off my heels discreetly and hiked up the skirt of my dress. I was ready, but he shook his head. If you have to throw up, just do it in the bag that's in the back seat, he answered. That was when I noticed the huge black trash bag next to me. It was big enough to hide a body. I freaked, yanking on the door handle again. Tears spilled down my cheeks. Hey, he said softly. Why are you crying? You wanted this. Then he hit the gas, picking up speed as he turned down another dark road with no street lamps. The headlights were the only thing casting light on the road. I glanced at my phone. One flickering bar. This had to work. It had to. I pulled up my contacts and hit Leah's name. Then I called and pressed the phone to my ear. She answered on the first ring, laughing. Girl, you better have a good reason for not being home yet, she said brightly. Tears stung my eyes at the sound of her voice. I'm sorry, I whispered. I don't think I'm going to make it to brunch tomorrow with your parents. Silence fell. We didn't have brunch planned. It was a code we told each other to use if one of us was in trouble. So far, neither of us have ever had to use it until now. Oh my god, she breathed. Got it. Calling 911 from my boyfriend's phone. Stay on the phone and tell me everything you can about where you are and who you're with. I started rambling about everything. The party, the guy I almost went home with, the Uber I thought I called, the stranger who picked me up. Then I started talking about where we were. We're on a dark street, I said casually. My fingers tapped against my thigh. We just passed Grove Circle. I think we're heading towards Mount Hood. I heard Leah relay the information to the 911 dispatcher. The driver glanced at me through the mirror, eyes hard. Who are you talking to? He demanded. My roommate, I said, voice shaking slightly. She gets protective of me and was expecting me home already. The driver picked up speed as he cursed. Give me the phone, he ordered coldly. I didn't move, so he reached behind the seat, grabbing my leg tightly. I screamed and bucked his hand off of me. He swerved slightly and reached for me again. That was when I saw the flashing red and blue lights behind us. Leah was screaming and crying into the phone. I kicked at the driver's hand and he swore loudly. He slammed on the brakes so hard I hit the seat in front of me. I felt blood on my face as the driver turned the car around because of the police car coming at us from the front. Another police cruiser boxed us in at the back. The driver immediately put the car in park and turned in his seat, lunging for me. I screamed as he grabbed my arm and punched me in the face. He was about to hit me again when a police officer pulled open his door and dragged him out of the car, putting him in handcuffs as he screamed curses and threats, telling them I went with him willingly. I told Leah I was okay, and we cried together as a female officer wrapped a blanket around my shoulders. The police opened his trunk and froze. One of them approached me. Did you know the driver at all? He asked. Anything about him you can tell us? I shook my head slowly. No. Why? We found zip ties, rope, gasoline, and a shovel, the officer answered. There's no way you were his first victim. He's done this before.